Hello everyone, welcome back to year 2 on No Man's Land. Now we ended up the last one mowing off all that grass off that second plot that we kind of accidentally had to buy. It was pretty unintentional, so here I am. I've mowed it all and I've whacked it into this silage pit. I've got an awful lot of grass here now, so it's good. It's going to be bonus money. That's always a good thing, but yeah, a lot of unexpected work happened to happen here. That's the pit filled. You have to tidy up the overspill stuff and put the rest of that back into the forage wagon. And I'm at the shop at the minute because I intend to turn the rest of this stuff into hay, so I've just bought myself a rake and also a bale spike as well. So back in the field again, and you can see there's a lot of grass in here still, so this is all going to get tossed up and then raked up and made into hay. I'm in the baler now, and on my little Fiat tractor, got up the top of the hill, turned the thing on, and yes, she doesn't move. Nowhere near enough power for this. Oh well. I'm going to have to look at loose leaf hay for this stuff then, but it's getting late on the day, so I'll feed the chickens, call it a night. We're starting to lose the light anyway, so quick sleep and back up again tomorrow. Right, as I'm needing the forage wagon now, I'll just dump out that chaff and go and lift this loose hay. Problem being, I'm also running a thing called Rain P in here as well. It's a bit more of a realistic mod, and as it's rained overnight, all my hay has got wet again and turned back into grass. So which means I've got a lot of grass now. To use some of this, I'm going to place what I thought was a sheep pen, but it's actually a sheep pen that does sheep and goats as well. So, well, if I can do goats, I'll do goats. Yeah, never had these before. So there we go, got myself a few goats, they eat some grass. Let's get that poured out into that. And the rest of this grass, when I lift now, the silage pit's full, it's overflowing, so get silage pit number 2 then, I guess. I'm kind of making this up as I go along in a minute because I wasn't expecting to have any of this at all. So on we go on again, a lot of grass up here. I'll get it lifted. You don't need to sit and watch all of that. Stick a bit more in with the goats as well, just trying to get rid of as much of this stuff as I can at the minute. So again, same with this pit as well now, just tidying up the bits that spill out the side of it, try and get it compressed down again, and get it ready to throw the cover on. There we go, that's that one wrapped up as well. It'll take a couple of days, but that's a lot of silage there. It's going to be a lot of money. Sunflowers are still going well in the greenhouse. Take it down and sell a load off them. I've brought the water tank down with me as well, as I want to actually swap that one out. I can afford to at the minute, I've got a bit of money, and with the, I was going to say sheep, but actually goats, we're going to need a bigger water tanker now, so I'll let this one here, it holds about 10,000 litres, so that's a pretty good upgrade. I got myself some feed for the chicken as well, because as we know, they always need food in this thing. So put a couple of thousand litres of water in the tank, drop that off to the goats, and then nip round and give this green to the chickens. A few eggs ready for collection as well, so happy days. That's bringing in a few pounds again. I'll go down and get the rest of my sunflowers. Take a trip back down to the shop with eggs and sunflowers. That'll bring us in a few £1,000. Last bit of wood chips as well now. These are often little spindly trees that went round and kind of thinned out in the forest. So this should be my last trailer of wood chips. Get a couple of thousand or so for that. But now we're back again, take these cribs off the trailer, and because we have no more wood chips to do, I can actually get rid of the chipper again now as well. So that's going to go back to the shop and get a few £1,000 back for this hopefully. There we go, happy days. And because I've sold that, harvest isn't long away, so I'm going to have to reinvest that money in a new combine harvester. I'll get the header as well. Don't think I need a header trailer, there's no tight lands in this one, so should be fine to drive around with the header on. Get her parked up at the side of the field, ready for hopefully next month. I think this crop should be ready. Now this field up here, I want to kind of just take a bit more ground. With all this excess grass around, I don't need more grass, I don't need more silage. We'll just widen this field out a little bit. I'll leave a bit of a grass strip down between so just so I'm not wasting crop, and we'll tidy it up after the harvest. There we go, just wrapping up the last bits of this one now. It's probably made that field a good 20-25% bigger. this is just using a bit more of this dead ground as well. I think I fancy putting a bit of grass in here, just something that I can actually kind of fertilise and get a decent yield off. If I drive around here as well, you'll see I've got another big expanse of grass here. I'm going to make this into another field as well. So I'll have 2 big fields around the back here, and this field is going to be absolutely huge. As you can see, there's a lot of driving up and down there for that one. This is really quite a small tiller. Could have done with something bigger for this. Sad thing is, all this ground still actually needs ploughed as well, really. Yeah, this thing only cultivates the ground. It doesn't give it its ploughed status, so I'm going to have to go over it all again at some point in the future, but that's a problem for future Waldo. Now the good thing about working in May is it's 7:30 at night. It is still quite light, but we're starting to get the sun go down a little bit. But now I've got pick a couple of things up, go for a nap, and go into the next morning. Then we move into June, and that silage that I did last time, that's now actually ready to go. So this was all the bonus stuff from that plot that I kind of was forced into buying because I'd accidentally placed the chicken in the wrong place. I just trashed a bit of my own crop there. But hey ho, it's good. You know, I wasn't expecting to have to do all this extra silage work, but it's extra money, and we need the money at the minute. One of the big things we needed was an upgrade in our tractor. I'm looking at this Fiat Agri one here. As you saw in the last episode, the little Fiat just couldn't work the baler, so we really do need an upgrade. So 1 pit of silage paid for that. That's not a bad trade-off. A quick refresh of some of the animals here and keep the sunflowers watered as well. There we go. One thing I have to swap out as well is the front loader. I had to get a stall one for this one. The other one wasn't compatible with the tractor. I think it was in War. I don't know how you pronounce it. But back into a bit of field work now and do some grass seeding with this one. This uber ultra fast spreader. I do like this, but I think I'll just use it for spreading grain or grass seeds, that kind of stuff, not for actually doing grain work. Seems a bit cheaty to do it with that. That little patch is just kind of a bit of bonus grass down there, so I figured I may as well get a bit of use out of it, a bit of yield out of it. It'll feed the goats, it'll keep us going, and get her surveyed as well, see what kind of soil we have in this one. Now for the stuff I did put in, a bit of fertiliser too. May as well make this grass grow. There we go, nice big working width in the spreader. Do like that. Some lime as well. Now all this ground is fresh ground, so it's going to need a lot of lime. And yeah, you saw that, only got halfway. Well, don't even know if I got halfway across that bit, and she emptied the spreader on me straight out. With the new fields and stuff going in as well, still a bit of wood tidying up to do here. Just haven't really defined where I'm putting my road networks and paths in yet, so there's going to be a bit of clearance on and off to happen here. I also need to identify a bit of an area somewhere in this. I want to do a cow pasture too, so I'm going to have to clear a square of ground out and get myself a pen pit down for them too. There's actually quite a bit of wood here to bring in, what, about 1800 quid a load, so it's well worth doing this. Plus they have to go. I will replant them all. I'll get myself a couple of pallets of saplings here and throw them in the ground as well. You can see just where I've randomly planted trees before and put in a few pathways, and I have saplings that are going to grow in the middle of the path, so again I'll have to sort that out at some time in the future. Here we go, we'll start putting in a few now, and I can put them in the actual goat pastures and whatnot, so hopefully they'll grow up and just make it look a bit more realistic really. Another snooze, and we're into July, and that is it, our first harvest now as well. We've got the combine in the go, we've got some wheat in the go, producing some straw as well. Happy days, there's our first trailer load going in. Seems to be quite a good yield on this. Combine's working well, the header's not massive, but it's not bad for what we have here at the minute. It's certainly a good starting combine. Cannot complain about that for the first harvest at all. May as well take some of this wheat up and throw it into the ducks. They're always looking for food. I think that's the first time the trough's ever actually been completely full in this, whatever we're calling it, incarnation of no man's land. So back on with the harvest, and she's still chopping away there nicely. Now to have the bigger tractor, let's see how the baler works in this one. I'm hoping she's got enough horsepower to run this. If she doesn't, then, well, we're in trouble. I think this tractor has about 180 odd horse. So I'm going to do 220 centimeter bales, I think I put in for. Yeah, she's running that fine, not a problem. Combine going on nicely and topping up that grain trailer. Now because I actually have quite a bit of grain coming out of this field, realised I need to get myself a silo. So 15 grand spent in a silo there. Yeah, I think I'll kind of make this point down here the hub for all this kind of stuff, but these things may move in the future, I don't know. I still haven't really got a plan on where the whole yard work and all this kind of stuff's going. Everything's very hilly up at the top of the place, so it's quite awkward to actually build anything. So yeah, keep it down in that flat ground, I think's the better place for it. But yeah, this tractor's worked really well. Handled the harvest no problem, handling this baler no problem. And as you can see, we've got, must be a good dozen or so straw bales out of this field as well, so happy with that. Now I'm just going to use the teleporter trailer to lift these bales up. Sorry, I should really get myself an auto loader type thing, a proper auto loader one at some time in the future. But for now this will have to do. And the sunflowers that I'm getting out of this I can actually throw into the silo now as well. May as well keep them, get a better price for them. I didn't have enough space to put all this grass into the silage pit last time, so I still have some left up here, so throwing some of that into the goats. And there's one pit was ready, obviously both pits are ready because they're both pretty much put in at the same time, so we can start emptying that one out as well. I'll keep a bit of this silage for later. Always need a bit of extra income coming, but 53,000 in the bank at the minute. We're looking pretty healthy, I like that. Now I think I mentioned earlier that I just have to still plough all of these fields up. All I've done at the minute is kind of create them with the cultivator. Whilst I've got the money, I figured I may as well do this for the yield. It does make a big difference, so got myself this plough, start ploughing them up, and then through the cultivator on the worker behind, and that should get us a good yield. But moving on for another month now, we're in August, another harvest to start as well. What's this one? This is more wheat as well. So chickens aren't going to go hungry this year, the ducks aren't going to go hungry. All these fields that we ploughed up as well now, I've been running the cultivator across them on the worker too. So that I think gets us a good 10% extra bonus for having the fields ploughed as well. Back in again and making a bit more straw. I don't actually really need this straw at the minute, I don't know what I'm going to do with it all, but may as well make it. I'll use it at some stage in the future. I'm planning on getting cows, so they'll either use it for bedding or TMR or something. Feeling that we'll just sell it. This is harvest non-stop at the minute. We're into the canola now. Combine's definitely earning its money at the minute. Back on with some more straw. What have we got here? What's that? 8 bales in this one, and 11 in the last one. So yeah, not a bad little haul. Because they've made everything into silage, need some actual grass for the goats. Didn't really think about that whenever I was cutting everything and putting it out of the way, but yeah, I've got another trailer load of stuff here. This will keep the goats going for a bit. They do seem quite hungry as well, but yeah, we should be alright. If nothing else, I'll make some hay at some time in the future. That's this combine done with that one. Back into the field with my big plough again, and as I said, I left a bit of a grass strip between these things, but I think I'll just join everything up now and make that into one big field. Plough up everything here, so that gives me that ploughed status for the next crop that goes into there. That'll boost the yield on that a little bit. Now I'm not planning on using these pits anymore, so getting rid of both of them, and finally starting my actual yard structure. Get myself a couple of sheds down in there. All the equipment's been sitting outside for the past year, so it's going to start wearing badly. So get her in, get her under cover, and start looking a bit more like a farm now. I'm going to have to do a bit of groundwork on this and just square things up a bit. Hey, look at that. We actually have stuff in sheds, under cover, not getting wet anymore. And finish cultivating up this ground that I ploughed again. God, the summer's absolutely disappeared. It's the end of August. Picked up this new seeder in the shop here. The one I had for like spreading the grass seed, it felt a bit too cheaty. I couldn't use that for putting in crops. So went down, spent a bit of money and got this massy one. It's actually quite late on in August now, 7 o'clock. It's got dark, so I'm going to call it quits for the night there. Get some sleep, but we did manage to get that field finished. It was just had to do it in the dark, so there's no point in you guys sitting watching a black screen. But it also, all this ground needs lime as well, and this little spreader's going through the lime like mad. It only holds 1,000 litres, and yeah, it's running for like 3 seconds and then it's empty again. So went down to the shop, got a whole pile of bags, put them in the back of this trailer, and kind of drag it around, refill it as I go. So some more sunflowers out of the greenhouse as well. Getting a nice little stock of these. It must be 4,000 or 5,000 litres at least now in the silo. Back on with the seeder and back into the big field behind the house. Put some barley in this. Don't really have a plan on what I'm doing with these crops yet, but things like barley, wheat, all that kind of stuff, it'll be needed for the ducks. So that's never going to go to waste. Here you can see what's that? Canola, banana, can't speak. Canola, barley and wheat all within those 3 fields. So that's some good winter crops in. As ever, these goats are needing a bit of feeding, so a bit more grass work. This little small grass field that I put in, she's fully grown at the minute as well, so I may as well get that cut down before the winter frost comes in and kills it all off. There's actually quite a decent yield off that one for all the size off it there. And finally, I've got grain of my own now. I don't have to go and buy it every time for these things. They actually fill their trough up full. So they're really starting to produce some eggs now too. That's good. They might finally be starting to pay for themselves. Ooh yeah, 10,000 came in there just from those eggs. Happy days. Now I got rid of my last silage pits. They had to go because they were in a bad place. I wanted to put the sheds there. So I've done this temporary one up here with some straw bales. Do a little bit of landscaping for it, make it look a bit more natural. And then I start throwing a couple of loads of grass in here that I've taken off this field. I will try and retain some of this grass if I can, just to feed to the goats, because they don't eat silage, and it's not worthwhile trying to make tiny bales of hay at the minute. So yeah, so I'll take this trailer around. This can be used to top up the goats, and should hopefully feed them for a day or two. Get this stuff all rolled up and get her closed up. There we go. That'll ferment away and give us a little bit of silage or a bit of income or something at some point in the future. Run over with some fertilizer and that field of grass should be good to go again. Wow, whistle stop tour of August there. We're now moving on into September. And goats are actually starting to reproduce a bit, so just getting rid of some of the rams and stuff like that in them. Don't need them. And actually, yeah, I discovered the goats aren't actually producing any wool at all. Not entirely sure what exactly they do. So I swapped the goats out for sheep, because the sheep will now actually produce wool. And I've also just swapped out ducks for chickens, because I'm convinced those ducks are eating far too much. No, there must be something screwed up somewhere on it, because they don't normally eat that much, so I swapped them out for just the Indian chickens. And also some of the little sapling trees that I planted have started to grow. Now unfortunately I didn't really have much of a plan, never planted them all, so they just grew in random places, so I'm having to go around and chop all of them down. As we go around I'll probably find a few more things I've just sprouted up in the middle of pathways and whatnot here. But again, get some feed into the chickens, hopefully their intake will calm down a little bit now. And get rid of some of those bales that we made, because we just don't need them at the minute. What we do need, however, is a lot more lime. These fields are really sucking this stuff up. And with this tiny spreader, it only holds, what, 1,000 litres? Or 3,000 litres, is it? Yeah, it's really just burning through this stuff in a matter of seconds. Luckily, this isn't that expensive, but yeah, it takes a lot of it to do. And wrap us up for the day, we'll get the sprayer out and starting these weeds in the backfield. Again on a cold, crisp November morning, and when we're doing our what we do everyday thing, feed the chickens. It seems to be a never-ending job with them for that. And we're also going around again a bit more forestry work. We're hunting out a couple of trees here, a couple of big ones. I'm looking to clear a pasture for where I'm going to put in my cow pen. Now you can see me just trying to fit it in there, seeing what kind of trees need to come down. It's a reasonable enough size, and it is quite thick with trees in here, so I'm going to have a lot of wood that I need to get rid of now. Good big chunky logs. This usually brings in a few £1,000 every time. Yeah, good £8,000 a load there. That's not bad. Just these logs alone will probably actually pay for the cow pasture eventually. But November, the nights are short, so we're going to skip on through these months pretty quickly. There's not an awful lot of work to do. It is just tidy up work around the yard, so we're into December already. And as ever, that involves keeping these animals fed, a bit more grass for the sheep and a bit more wheat into the chickens. Another full pot of eggs there as well, so happy days, that'll bring us in some money. Back to clearing some of the trees for the cow pasture as well. Some more of the saplings have sprung up. Bit of fertiliser back in the grass field. May as well make the best of this while the snow isn't here yet. More seeds out of the, more sunflowers out of the greenhouse. Yeah, it's producing about 2,500–3,000 a day, so for a month rather than a day. But yeah, we're getting a good little haul out of that, so we should have some good quantities of stuff to sell here shortly. Now, I'm not really sure if I should be keeping these eggs and stuff and trying to get them in there at their best price. That would probably be the better thing to do with it, but yeah, I kind of need money still at the minute. I know I've got 40-odd thousand in the bank, but I can't afford to be keeping stuff that I don't need. So between the straw and the eggs, what's that, about another 12,000? Get another load of these logs down as well. Another 6 or 7 in this. I mean, only 4, not so great. It's enough to buy some more saplings anyway though, so I'll get them out and get them put back into the ground for all these trees that I've been cutting down. As I've always said before, I don't intend this to be a deforestation type thing. I'll be replacing all the trees that I do cut down. And here we go. I think I've cleared enough space now to get my cow pasture in. She's in, and yeah, looks alright. Don't like the way these grids don't disappear by themselves. But I've got a few calves in there, kind of a bit of everything of every age. I've got a couple of actual cows as well. So spent a fair bit of money on that. Hopefully they won't eat me out of house and home. Top them up with some grass, some water, and the calves will grow up. It's kind of a long-term plan. And the milkers should give us milk straight away. Now, to make use of some of these sunflowers, I'm going to install this little building. This should, in theory, do things with grain crops really. So it'll work the sunflowers, should work a bit of wheat, flour, all this kind of stuff. Be able to make myself some of my own bread. I'm going to put in this wheat for flour. I can put in canola to make canola oil. The sunflower coming out of the greenhouse will make some sunflower oil. So happy days, that's a good little business plan for us. Wake up, it's a new year, straight into January, and look at all the good stuff that this thing's churning out. Now, from some of the flour creation as well, one of the actual side effects of it is it gives me pig food. Don't have anything to do with that at the minute, so don't really know what I'm going to do with it. But yeah, what's that, 7,000 from those little bits of sunflower oil stuff that's come out of there? Happy days, that's going to be a good investment. That I think I'll stick the rest of these sunflower seeds into this now as well. Start churning out the oil. Got over 10,000 seeds in here. Or 10,000 litres of seeds. Yeah, this could be a really good little money spinner. Some wheat in as well. I'll convert this into flour. And that wheat, of course, is also being used to feed our chickens. I don't know if they're any less hungry than what the ducks are, in all honesty. They just do seem to get through it quite quickly. I think the trough's quite small, which doesn't really help. It makes it look like you're feeding them a lot more. Some more of this grass into the cows here. And our silage is ready once again, so this new temporary pit, she can get emptied out. Put that in the trailer and let's get rid of that stuff. Didn't have an awful lot in it here, so it won't be worth an awful lot to us, but hey, it's all extra, it's all free. As you see, we're burning through our money quite quick at the minute. We're down to 15,000. Still quite healthy with that, but yeah, we do seem to spend things as quick as we make it. I'm trying to top up this greenhouse at the minute. I've got another bag of seed, but can't seem to get it to go in at the minute, so I don't know what's up with it. I'll throw in some manure. The bag of seed, that's a problem I'll deal with in the future. I'll stick it over here at the side for now. Actually, I just figured out what I probably need to do is take it out of the bag. So I'll decant it out of the bag into the truck, and yeah, she pours straight in, no problem at all. Now, I've got sheep and cows to feed at the minute, so I need to start generating a bit of grass again. The cows actually take quite a lot of stuff, a lot more than what I was expecting. I also made a bit of a mistake with this because this is only like a grazing pasture, so there's nowhere for cows to be milked and stuff like that. So I ended up swapping out the stock a bit, getting rid of most of the milking cows and just going for young calves, let them grow up a bit in that. Now, I did remember that we also have contracts on here. There's no other farmers and stuff on this map, so it doesn't really work, but there is the odd supply one, so I've got some supply contract there for my straw. Get rid of some of that, and that pretty much wraps up the month of January for us. We're now into February. We're absolutely steaming through this year. I'm probably going to finish this year in this episode. So February, March, yeah, and then we're back into April, so yeah. This will wrap up year 2, I think, in the end of this one. Bit more grass going into the animals. And look at all the stuff that we have out of our shop now to sell. Wow, that was a big hit. I like that. Loads of flour, a bit of bread, loads of oil, everything going in there. Let's get this topped up again and get plenty more of that in the make. Now, I was going to leave all my ploughing until kind of the end of the next harvest, but I figure I'm a bit of a loose end of this. There's not an awful lot of stuff to happen here. So I'd try that field, but it was actually going really slow. It was down to like 5 miles an hour. I couldn't figure out why, so I wrapped that up for now. Decided to tackle another problem, which is our pig feed. So I bought myself a little pigsty. It's not huge, it'll only hold a few, but we'll breed them up and just build those numbers up slowly over time. We're getting the food for free, so we may as well use it. There we go, that's got them sorted for now. Throw in some water and that should keep them happy. Don't know how quickly they'll breed, but yeah, it's all extra for nothing. This is it, folks. We're in the last month of year 2 and we're still going really slow, and this is 5 miles an hour. I think it might be to do with like the temperature or something like that. Whenever the temperature's cold, the ground's still hard, so therefore it slows everything down. But hey, she needed ploughed. There wasn't a lot else to do, so may as well spend the time and do it. Now, something I'm looking at is upgrading the size of the cultivator because it's really starting to get a bit small for the fields that we're doing, so I'm swapping that out. And you'll see there I also sold the old front mower as well. I've got plans for upgrading all the grass cutting equipment here in a minute. Again, going really slow. The tractor was really struggling with it. Thought I'd swap it out, try it for the Unimog. That went even slower. So then I went back to the tractor again. We're still hitting 5 miles an hour. Can't do anything. So what I did was restart the game. Hey oh, she worked. Straight in 9 miles an hour. Don't know, it was obviously just some kind of a hangover-y bug thing there somewhere. But we finished that one up and putting some grass into this one. I sort of thought I might actually get away with doing a quick crop out of this one before I have to seed the actual grain crop. If I can turn it around quickly, that'll work. I'm not going to risk it with this one. Oats are going straight in here. Nice big field of oats. That'll give us something different. It'll give us a bit more straw, and we'll work out what we're going to do with all this grain. As after every planting, you need some fertilizer on it as well. That'll spring it up nicely. And then our never-ending saga of feeding animals. And this is our new mower. It's actually a bit smaller than the old one, but it should work really well with this wagon, and that it'll pick up as a mow. And then it can also eventually upgrade again to a set of butterfly mowers at the back. So we'll have a real nice tri-mower setup eventually. More chicken feed. Those chickens always need feed. And again, lots more stuff coming out of here now. Look at all that oil. Pallet of bread. This is going to be worth a few £1,000 to us. £30,000. What a way to end the year. Guys, that is the end of year number 2. Thank you all for watching so much. I will go on. We're doing year number 3. Hopefully we'll see you all there for it. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Bye now.